It is the beginning of a new week. Good morning and welcome to the morning news right here on TV3. We come to you live from our studios at Adesawe Kanda. We're also streaming live on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. My name is Safo Abuahin, now coming out this morning. Government and U.S. ambassador to Ghana set to meet in a crucial meeting today over 10% tariffs imposition on Ghanaian goods. Plus, Ghana Health Service ends mass cholera vaccination exercise in the central region today. Also coming up, Foreign Affairs Minister assures Ghanaians Vice President Opoku Agyeman is recovering and will return soon. We have details of these and many more coming up shortly. Please stay with us. Many thanks for joining us this morning. Let's settle for the details now into our first story. The Foreign Minister or First Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa says the Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman is doing well and will soon return home to continue with her duties. Speaking to some Ghanaians in Lagos, Nigeria, the minister asked Ghanaians to ignore negative comments about the health of the Vice President.
A statement signed by the Presidency Communications on March 30, 2025, signed by the spokesperson of the President and Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, indicated that based on expert medical advice, the Vice President will be seeking additional treatment abroad. Addressing some Ghanaians in Lagos, Nigeria, Foreign Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa gave an update on the health of the Vice President.
Prayer from all over Ghanaians at home and abroad has really worked. I have heard from her, so I know what I'm talking about, and she's doing well. Please ignore all of that very vicious and un-Ghanaian evil propaganda that some people are circulating. Our mother is doing very, very well, and very soon she's going to return to her duties, serving Ghana, making all of you proud, and particularly inspiring our young girls, our daughters, to know that there is nothing that women cannot achieve, that women are as good as men, and that what men can do, women can also do, and do it better.
Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa also applauded Ghanaians abroad for their contributions to the development of the country. Regarding the Ghana card, he mentioned that Ghanaians abroad do not need to travel to Ghana to obtain a Ghana card.
We are not going to stop the NIA from using our diplomatic property. We are going to make them available to them. So be putting yourselves together and be standing by. I'm sure that very soon we'll put out an announcement. We'll issue a timetable so that you will know when the NIA officials will be here, so that the Ghana cards will be issued.
Let's now bring you the story on the U.S. tariffs, where the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has assured the Ghanaian private sector, especially major exporters, investors and the general public of government's commitment to engage the USA on the current imposition of tariffs on Ghanaian products. The U.S. announced on April 2, 2025 that a 10% tariff would be applied universally on imports from all nations, including Ghana, effective April 5, 2025. In a statement, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry said swift action is necessary to avoid trade disruptions and investment decisions in the country. The ministry, as a matter of urgency, is engaging relevant stakeholders to determine the extent of the effect and assess the full impact of the U.S. tariffs on the country's economy. The government and the ministry added that is committed to ensuring that the private sector is well informed on the details of the imposition to avoid trade disruption, as well as ensure predictability of investment decisions in the country. The statement noted that various strategies are under consideration to mitigate the immediate impact on Ghana's trade. We'll still remain on that particular ministry because Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejari, who is the minister of that sector, has called on traders to choose made-in-Ghana products over imported ones to help stabilize the Ghana cedi during a tour of some factories within the Tema industrial area. The minister stated that local factories produce enough products, but they are being exported due to low demand from Ghanaian traders and consumers.
According to the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejari, the government is open to private sector collaboration, which will lead to job creation through industrialization. However, she emphasized the need for full cooperation from Ghanaian traders and consumers to believe in made-in-Ghana products. This, she said, will encourage the private sector to produce more, thus strengthening the local economy.
Ghanaians must patronize made-in-Ghana goods. If the products are made in Ghana, standards are high. If we buy from them, scale will go up. Then our economy will be strong, our city will be stable. That's the only way we can make Ghana greater and stronger.
Management of some of the factories called on the government to reduce tariffs on electricity and other utilities to enable them to produce at a lower cost.
If somebody is investing in a local manufacturing setup, he has to be given certain support from the government so that slowly there's a gradual reduction in importation. So you do an import substitution with local manufacturing, which leads to local employment, local quality products, local sourcing of raw materials, So we need support in the form of, say, concession on importation, on tariffs like electricity, water, quality and quantity of supply, and of course, the taxation.
They also complained about the challenges in getting raw materials, which hinder their day-to-day production.
And it's very imperative that we patronize made-in-Ghana products and goods indeed. But moving away from that, tertiary students are being encouraged to report any form of harassment to university authorities to help curb incidents in schools. This comes in light of some reported cases of sexual harassment in recent times. At a campaign to raise awareness, stakeholders noted that while many Ghanaian universities have anti-sexual harassment policies, the effectiveness is hampered by slow response times, among other factors.
Almost 80% of reported sexual harassment cases at the University of Ghana involve student-on-student incidents rather than misconduct by faculty or non-teaching staff, according to data from the institution. A faculty member of the Sociology Department and a member of the University of Ghana's Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee, Mabel Sowate, encourage students to take advantage of the center on campus.
2010 was when the University of Ghana actually developed a policy. And then in 2011, we constituted a committee, which is the Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee. And this committee is the one that is in charge. We also have one here, the Center for Gender Studies and Advocacy. And in actual fact, they actually champion the development of the policy. However, the way in which the committee is constituted, it sits directly under the Vice Chancellor, so that to give it some sort of autonomy.
Founder and Executive Director of POS Foundation, Jonathan Osei-Owusu, said the campaign aims to raise awareness about sexual harassment on university campuses, protect students' rights, and foster a safe academic environment.
Some people have even been, dismissed. Lecturers have had several punishments, and then students have also been withdrawn. And so it is important that we don't take this sexual harassment issue in a very trivial matter, in a very trivial way, but rather attach all the seriousness to it to help students do their best on campus, have a conducive atmosphere to work so that nobody harasses them and they become better citizens in society.
The seminar, organized by POS Foundation and Amplify Change in collaboration with the Women's Commission of the University of Ghana, was aimed at creating an enhanced awareness and understanding of sexual harassment among university stakeholders. The event sought to educate students on the importance of utilizing available mechanisms if they become victims of sexual harassment, ensuring they know their rights and the resources at their disposal. Through this collaboration, the seminar aimed to foster a safer and more informed campus environment for all students and staff at the university.
Stop sexual harassment.
He may look physically smaller as compared to his classmates in school, but academically he is a rare gem, defying expectations and making a name for himself. This is the story of Diamond Lucas, who gained admission to Infantsipim School at just 9 years old. Inspired by renowned lawyer Chachu Chikata, Diamond is driven to succeed and hopes to meet his idol soon. A report by Portia Gabo and Thomas Khan.
On the campus of Infantsipim School, one young boy stands out from the crowd, a 10-year-old defying age norms and pushing boundaries. That young boy is a rare student, a diamond, just like his name.
When I was in class 1, then COVID came. So during the COVID, my dad organized classes and he added me. If he's teaching the junior level, then I go and join him. Then he saw that was good, but I wasn't having the speed. So when we resumed school, the teachers said I'm good, so they are taking me to JHS1. But my dad said JHS1 is too high for my level, so they should take me to class 5. From class 5, I went to class 6 and I wrote scholarship exams at Galaxy. But I passed, but there was no money. So I was motivated by my mom that if one door closes, another door opens. Then I went to write entrance exams at Universal and I passed in Form 3. Then I wrote the BC in that school.
At 8 years, he wrote the Basic Education Certificate exams. Now 10 years studying General Science and in SHS2, Diamond says he will put in his best to achieve greatness.
When I was in class 1, I searched for the youngest doctor, which was Ruth Amajan by then. That motivated me to also come to SHS early at this age.
There's one man that inspires Diamond a lot. He wants to meet him soon, at renowned lawyer Chachu Chikata.
Lawyer Chachu Chikata is one of the great lawyers in Africa. He came to this school at age 9. I wish I would meet lawyer Chachu Chikata, who is one of my inspirations and also an old boy of Infantsipim School.
I'm surprised if he wants to become a very big person or like Chachu and others who you can think of. I will hope that he will maintain his focus and then probably aim higher as you've been motivating him to do so.
It feels very special being a friend of them.
Diamond has support from the school head, teachers and his classmates.
When I first saw him, I was like, hey, this boy at this age, can he make it through? So ever since I just started to monitor and follow him and see how he will survive or how he will be able to manage himself academically and domestically. So we are just monitoring him to see how things are going. And so far, it's been very well.
Personally, I had doubts about his ability to cope with the rigors of academic work in the school. But over time, he has proven himself to be a very hard-working student, and we cannot see any difference in terms of performance between him and the older ones.
I always tell him to be serious with his studies. And then also, if he doesn't understand anything, he should try and consult his friends.
I was wondering whether he had what it takes to do the course, as in additional mathematics at SHS, at the age of 9. Initially, it took him some time to acquaint himself with the environment. But I think after the first 2 weeks into the first month of his stay, he got used to and started picking up with his colleagues.
He spoke about his hobbies and how he handles difficult moments in school.
Reading books and watching news. My friends, if I found any difficult challenge in the academics, I go to them and they help me. And emotionally, let me say, I feel sad. I go to them, they speak to me, and I feel okay.
I was surprised to see how he was able to socialize with people who are much, much older than him. But according to him, he's always been in this situation around people who have been older than him. So it's not very difficult. And they're really good friends in this class.
When I was his age, I was in class 4 by then. We lived with him as brothers. he's able to live on his own.
Greatness can sometimes appear in small packages, and Diamond is hopeful with hard work he will achieve his dream of becoming Ghana's youngest doctor.
I want to be known as a doctor to provide health care for people who are ill.
Indeed, Diamond Lucas is proven that greatness knows no age bounds. He's a diamond in the rough and will continue to polish until he shines bright in academics. Portia Gabo, TV3 News.
It's indeed intriguing to see such bright minds at such a very young age, and it actually shows how promising the future is with the likes of Lucas in it. But moving away from that, the Roads Minister has ordered an immediate investigation into the rapid deterioration of sections of the newly reconstructed, 66 kilometers Takwa Aguna in Kwanta Road. The €95 million project, which was completed less than a year ago, has seen significant portions of the asphalted road deteriorating. The contractors are absolving themselves of blame, attributing the issue to the activities of heavy-duty vehicles whose axles have been tampered with.
It's the same truck with the same load with some of the axles up. It can be equal, but it should be relatively uniform. It's either something has gone on in the track or certain sections were done differently than others. I don't know. And I am open-minded because it is not. And I say this with all the courage I can muster. It has attracted national concern because €95 million is a lot of money in our country.
We can't foresee situations that are not legal. And to transport, we are in a place where we can confirm very easily that the trucks, they stop here with all the axles below, and they stop here, and they put, because they passed a scale that is installed a few kilometers ago, and after they pass the scale, they put the axles up. And of course, the load is the same, dividing for less axles, the action, it will be more intense on the pavement. And there isn't any design that can foresee situations like this. This is a very irregular use of the road. And Ghana authorities must be aware of that, and they have to implement situations to prevent those kind of use. Otherwise, there will be no roads that can support such actions on the pavement.
For this reason, I'm open-minded, but we are determined to go to the bottom of this. So we shall launch a full-scale investigation to find out exactly what was the reason that your good intention or your adherence to the design has caused this. Because it's not merely asking you to go and replace the wearing cost. That is very simplistic. It might be unfair to you.
Let's take you to health now, and the Ghana Health Services mass vaccination exercise for over 500 residents in the Cape Coast municipality will end on Monday. The head of disease control at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kwame Amponsa-Achiano, has meanwhile emphasized the need to improve water and sanitation to prevent diseases.
On April 4 began the vaccination exercise in the Cape Coast municipality for individuals aged 1 year and older. The vaccination exercise follows a cholera outbreak in the Ewutu Senya East, Agona West and Efutu district, which led to limited vaccinations in the affected areas. According to the Ghana Health Service, insanitary lifestyles in some communities and water supply challenges have contributed to the outbreaks.
For us, one cholera case anywhere is a cholera case everywhere. And that is why it is so important that when we have arsenals that would combat the disease, we need to take advantage of it. The problem really is water. In fact, when the people don't have water,
and sanitation is poor, it's an issue. And so obviously health becomes the ultimate, they bear the brunt of the ultimate.
Deputy Central Regional Director in charge of public health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Jojo Kobina, stated that the situation was under control with only a few patients still on admission.
We have very few people on admission as a result of cholera. The vaccination has taken off successfully. We've been around the vaccination point. There are different people, some are static, some are mobile. We have teams moving around from house to house, administering the vaccine. And so far, the patronage has been very encouraging.
Meanwhile, the district director for the Commander Edina Eguafo Abrim district of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Martin Sumani Danko, expressed concern about the rampant open defecation along the coastal belt of the district.
So another major issue has to do with open defecation along in the ocean, in the sea. When you go there, people just defecate anyhow. Meanwhile, they have the toilets, the community toilets, and even household toilets. So what we need to do is that the community leaders must ensure that nobody goes to the city to do open defecation there. The assembly can also enforce the laws against open defecation.
Cholera has remained a persistent public health challenge in Ghana. The government and health authorities have ramped up efforts to curb the spread of the disease by improving access to clean water and sanitation facilities. However, experts warn that without comprehensive community engagement and a focus on hygiene practices, cholera-related deaths could continue to rise, especially in densely populated urban areas. Since the outbreak in parts of the country in August last year, a total of 6,145 suspected cases have been reported, with 719 confirmed cases and 49 lives lost. The Greater Accra, Central, Eastern, Western and Ashanti regions have all been heavily impacted by the outbreaks.
Let's now bring you a last story where authorities of the Valley View University have appealed to government to immediately intervene and stop private developers from encroaching on the school lands. School authorities say the situation is affecting development of the school.
The Valley View University started in 2006 and has a vast area of land for future development, but school authorities say for the past 3 years, private developers have been encroaching on the school lands, making it difficult for them to expand.
We have tried as a mission institution to seek amicable solution to engage with these individuals. It's been very, very challenging because sometimes what happens is that you go to a particular family and you have various factions, each claiming to be the legitimate ones to deal with you. And so at a point we have had to engage with the court in this matter.
The registrar, Albert Imbra, says the unfenced areas are being encroached upon rapidly despite reports to the police. He says the school does not want to take the law into its hands, the reason they are calling on the security agencies and by extension government to intervene.
We think that it is imperative that we also use your medium to bring to the attention of the powers that be what is happening so that we can all together find a way to engage for an amicable solution. We don't want these instances of land guards coming in here and all too soon you'll be speaking of that bat here and there. Is the last thing we would want to see.
Albert Imbra also urged prospective investors to do due diligence on the land they acquire before going ahead to develop it.
And that'll be all for the morning news right here on TV3. Many thanks for joining us this morning. Join Roland Walker and myself for a new day of the morning show on the other side. Have a lovely week.